What is going on, guys? It is time for another episode of our Java OpenGL 2D game development tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to implement some key input so that we can start controlling things in our game. So the first thing we're going to do is in the game loop class, we're going to get rid of this little FPS code right here. Actually, we're just going to comment it out because we might end up using it later, but it's going to interfere with what we do next. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the input package. As you might notice over here on the side, ever since I created the Git repository yesterday, I think there must be using a black font or something for these packages and some of the classes, because you can see that they've gone completely black against the black background. I'm going to have to fix that. But for now, just go to the input package where we created the mouse input class. And we're going to create a new class, call it key input. And now, much like the mouse input, this one is going to implement a listener, except this one's going to implements key listener, just like that. Now we're going to import key listener, and you'll get two options here. You've got auth key listener, and you've got the JawGamp newt key listener. That's the one we want. Now, this is very important, even more important than when we did the mouse input, because the key codes in the auth key listener are different from the key codes in the newt key listener, and this makes a difference if you're comparing key codes for one and not the other. If you get those two things mixed up, you're going to get key codes that are different from what you expect. You might press A and get a key code that's not A. So you got to be consistent across all of the things that use these key codes. So we're going to add the unimplemented methods. We're going to get two methods, key pressed and key released, both of which take a key event. I'm going to call it E. I'm going to clean this code up a bit. Give me the space where I like it. And what we're going to do is, to test out to see if it works, we're going to do a system.out.println e.getKeyCode. So it's the key code of the key event that we get right here. Now, if we run this right now, it's not going to do anything, and that's because we need to go to the renderer and add, right here we did window.add_mouse_listener, new mouse input. We're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be window.add_key_listener, new key input, which is an instance of the key input class that we just created, and you'll have to import it. Now, if we run the code, this is why I had you get rid of that code that printed out the FPS to the screen. We want to get rid of that because we're going to print out our key codes down here, and it's going to interfere if we're printing out the FPS at the same time. So we're going to run that code. It's going to start up, and there's a little square we created yesterday, or day before yesterday. And so I'm going to press a few keys. I'm going to press B, H, and G, and then I'm going to quit the program. And we get the codes for B, H, and G. And we get another one, that's the command key, because when I quit the program just now, I pressed command Q. It didn't capture Q because the program had quit by then, but when I pressed command, it did this one right here. So command is 154 apparently. So if I started up the program and then press command a few times, we get 154 over and over. And this is because this is how we get, how we're going to check to see what key we're pressing, is we're going to get key codes. Key codes are unique to the keys that you press, and it's very important, like I said, that you be consistent about, ignore that, key codes. It's important you be consistent about these, because I once used the newt key listener and accidentally gave it the auth key event, and then I'd check key codes, compare key codes to known key codes, and they wouldn't work. So if right here, if I check, we're going to do an if statement. We're going to say if e.getKeyCode is equal to key event dot vk underscore something like h. then we're going to say system.out.println true. We'll just do that. And then we're going to run the code. I'm going to press T, I'm going to press V, I'm going to press M, now I'm going to press H. So when we print out the code, we get 1 true because only one of those keys is H. So this is basically how you check to see what keys were pressed. You compare the key code to the key codes that are stored in the key event class. And like I said, it's important that this key event class be the newt key event class. In fact, let's see what happens if it'll let me import the wrong one real quick. If I choose auth key event, okay, what's going on right here, the reason why it's not going to let me do that is because these methods are fine, but they're not the methods that this key listener, the newt key listener, is expecting. It's expecting key pressed and key released methods that take newt key events, not auth key events. Since these must be taking auth key events, they can't be taking newt key events, and so they're obviously two different things. So they won't let you do that, so it'll make it easier to avoid making that mistake. I'm going to go ahead and import the correct thing. So that's actually convenient. That makes it harder to make that mistake. Before we finish, I'm going to I'm going to delete this code right here so that we've got a nice clean slate to work with next time. And in the next episode, I hope to be able to start getting a test player so that we can start implementing player movement and stuff so that we can navigate our world as we work on the game some more. So thank you very much for watching this episode. If you like this video, please subscribe. I put new episodes every Monday through Friday, except next Monday because that's going to be New Year's, so I'm not going to put one up then. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.